Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Electrical Concepts. My name is Vigyan Roy. So in this video lecture, I am going to discuss on the topic DC motor speed, torque and voltage relation. Here we will establish some relationship among DC motor speed, torque and also voltage. Okay, so let's start one by one. So to begin with, we all know this is the generalized equation of motion. It is very well known equation of motion, especially used in mechanical engineering. So Te is known as the electromagnetic torque that is developed by the DC motor. TL is your load torque due to the load that you are applying. J is your rotor inertia. Okay, B is your viscous friction constant. Fc is your Coulomb friction. Normally this term is neglected. Sg and omega means signum function of omega. Okay, so this thing can be neglected. Okay, normally people use equation up to this. Okay, up to b omega, only this much. This term is normally neglected, and omega is nothing but the speed in radian per second. Okay, so at steady state we know d omega dt will be 0, and I have neglected this part, so this equation turns into this at steady state. Okay, where omega ss means the steady state speed in radian per second. All right, so here actually I have considered for constant field flux motor like DC shunt motor or any PMDC motor. For DC series motor there will be some modifications. Okay, like see here, in that case we know this expression VA is equal to EB plus IA into RA. Alright, so EB can be written as KT into omega SS. Here KT is called the torque constant, but in case of DC series motor there will be some modifications in this torque constant. Okay, so those things you can do it on your own. Just I am referring here the constant field flux motor like DC shunt motor or PMDC motor. So KT is the torque constant and omega is the steady state speed. Alright, so now see here, from this expression, see, look at this expression. Now for constant field flux motor like DC shunt motor, for example, torque, electromagnetic torque is directly proportional to the armature current. Okay, so from there we can write torque is equal to KT into IA, where KT is the torque constant, and if you put this value in this equation, okay, if you replace TE by KT into IA, okay, and then if you do some manipulation, you will get IA to be TL plus B omega SS by KT. Okay, I hope you have got the idea how this term has come. Okay, so now what is the next step? You have to put this value in this expression. See here you have the IA, so you just replace this IA with this expression. Okay, so after doing that you will get the expression like this. Okay, and after further manipulation you will get this. So the steady state speed in RPM. So far I have talked about the speed in radian per second, but normally motor speed is expressed in RPM. So I have converted it into RPM, so it becomes this. So this is the entire expression of steady state speed in RPM. Okay, and as you can see, 30 by pi is a constant term. This entire term is constant because KT is a torque constant, this is constant, B is viscous constant, it is also fixed, and armature resistance is also fixed. Okay, so the only term that is varying in nature is this term inside the bracket. VA is the armature voltage, TL is the load torque. Alright, so now normally we run the DC motor by DC to DC converters just to control the speed, or they regulate the speed. Okay, normally these things you might have studied in power electronics. So suppose if I am using buck converter as DC DC converter, then we know that then in that case the armature voltage can be expressed by D into Vs. because we know the output voltage expression of buck converter is D into multiplied D into the input voltage of the buck converter, right? So in that case, the armature voltage or the input of the motor will be the output of the buck converter. So VA will be the output of the buck converter, which is nothing but duty ratio multiplied with input voltage of buck converter. Okay, so now see what you get here. Now you get the relationship between speed and the duty ratio. That means from this expression you can easily find out what will be the corresponding speed for a particular duty ratio of your buck converter. You can easily find out. Okay, so if you plot, you will get this kind of graph. Okay, it will be a pure straight line, and yes, when the duty ratio is 0 or armature voltage is 0, theoretically from this equation you may say if VA is 0 or the duty ratio is 0, the speed will be negative. But no, that is not the concept. That is just the mathematical concept, mathematical point of view. But practically the speed will not be negative, because when there is no supply, how can there will be some speed? The motor will not even start. Okay, mathematically it is coming negative, but it is not the practical scenario. Okay, the motor will not run when there is no voltage, so it will always start from the origin. Okay, so as the duty ratio keeps on increasing, or the armature voltage keeps on increasing, your speed will also rise. So it is a pure straight line passing through the origin. Okay, so here actually what I have done, I have varied my voltage and I have shown what will be the corresponding change in speed, and here I have kept the load torque TL constant. Okay, but now we'll see what will be the relationship between speed and load torque when your voltage is fixed. Okay, so see here again I have written this expression. So you will get this kind of graph actually when your voltage is fixed and you are varying your load torque. Okay, so this graph can be explained step by step. So see the first point, when your speed is 0. Okay, one more thing I have forgot to mention. Actually see, this expression is nothing but an equation of a straight line. Okay, having negative slope. That is why this graph is like this. It is nothing but a straight line having negative slope. Okay, so when your speed is 0, speed 0 means this term is 0, because rest of the terms are constant, so only this term can be 0. So if you equate this term with 0, you will get this expression, and the torque at which the speed becomes 0, that torque is called stalling torque. Okay, because at this torque the motor is stalled, that means motor is stopped. That is why it is called stalling torque. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, it is the stalling torque, and at this point speed is completely 0. Actually what happens is, if you keep on increasing the load, what will happen? The speed will keep on decreasing, and at a certain point the speed will be 0. That means motor will completely stopped due to a huge load, and that load torque is called the stalling torque. Okay, and this is the value. So from this expression you can easily find what will be the corresponding stalling torque of a particular DC shunt motor or constant flux motor like PMDC motor, like that. Okay, now at no load what will be the case? No load means your load torque is completely 0. There is no load torque because there is no load. So in that case the speed what we will get, that will be called the no load speed, and this is the expression of no load speed. So from here you will get the no load speed expression from this equation, and see here in the graph, this is the no load speed and it is the maximum speed, right? Because the speed will be maximum when there is no load. So this is the maximum speed, and here the load is completely 0. So as you keep on increasing the load, the speed keeps on decreasing. Okay, so at this point, see here I have mentioned rated, TL rated, that means it is the rated load torque. Normally you cannot go beyond the rated load torque. Okay, because if you increase your load, the current will also increase. So at rated load torque, you will get the rated current of the motor, and if you try to exceed this point, the it will be an overcurrent situation, okay, which is not at all acceptable. So normally the motor is kept up to this limit, okay. That is why after this point I have shown by a dotted straight line. Okay, so normally the speed varies in this range, all right. But if you still try to increase the load further, then speed will decrease, and one point will come when speed will be completely zero, and that will be called stalling torque. So this is the overall view of this graph, okay. And one more thing, many people may ask what will be the case if I further increase the load torque. I mean, if I go beyond stalling torque, what will happen? Theoretically, see, if you put the value in this equation, the speed will be negative, but that is the mathematical point of view, but practically it is not possible. Okay, speed cannot be negative if you keep on increasing the load. Okay, actually at this point speed will be completely zero, and even after this point, if you try to further increase your load, the speed cannot be negative, and the speed will remain at zero. And what will happen is the current will be increased, and as because motor cannot run, so all the power, input power that the motor is taking, all those entire input power will result in power loss, okay. Because we know the input power is nothing but the summation of output power plus loss. So here motor is not rotating, that means output power is completely zero, so only loss is remaining. So whatever power, input power the motor is taking, those entire power will be met by the by the loss itself, okay. So loss means the heating loss, or maybe the noise, or maybe the light energy, heat energy, sound energy, like that. So there will be some vibration, there will be noise, okay. And finally the motor will be damaged, because you are trying to make the load very high. I mean, the maximum limit is the rated load torque. Now you are even trying to go beyond stalling torque, which will result in a huge value of current, okay, which will completely burn the motor winding, okay. So this is just a theoretical concept, because in practical scenario it is not possible to go beyond the stalling torque, because even even if you try to cross the rated load torque, the current will be very high, and your circuit breaker will disconnect the path, okay. So it is not possible to go beyond the stalling torque, okay. This is just the theoretical point of view. So I hope now you have got a clear idea of what is the relationship between speed, torque and voltage of a DC shunt motor especially, or PMDC motor, okay. So please like this video, and also comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will again come up with some more interesting concepts like this, okay. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.